In this video we're targeting yellowfin whiting on the flats using only topwater lures such as a sugar pen, the slippery dog, the MMD prawn, a variety of different topwater lures, and we're going to work out which of the lures that I'm using works the best in these conditions. Yep, that fish are on it. Yep, 7 fish. Right, the whiting hunt is about to start. Sun's come up a little while ago. I may have slept in. Joys of camping and no work to go to. No cup of coffee because I forgot my coffee at home. So we're up Shit Creek. Hopefully a few whiting can put a smile on this dial. I've got the slippery dog tied on at the moment. This is in the 85. Normally a pretty good colour to start with. It's normally my go-to, either that or a sugar pen. Yeah, water's a little bit high at the moment. I'm actually fishing. Oh man, there's midges everywhere. Ugh, 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 and a cloud of midges. That's better. The tide's in it at the moment. It's high tide. It's just starting to run out. I'm just going to fish a little bit of the run out. Main target will be obviously the incoming from low. And that's there. There is a weed bed that's out there as well. But I'll be focusing on the shallower areas for this stage of the tide. And then later on, we'll be working the edges. Now with a howling wind, it wasn't the day to go boating, so I've decided to go flats fishing for whiting. Now, unbeknownst to me, the tides were a lot larger than I anticipated. The tide had gone out so far that the weed beds were dry, there was no sand to fish, and I was pretty well out of luck for an entire day until the last couple of hours. Now, the wind was still there, it was blowing 20 knots. Luckily, it was over my shoulder. I started off using the bigger lures that I normally use, and both of them got interest. But what I weren't getting too much of was hookups. Oh, we had a follow. Really hard to see, the wind's picked up chronic, and this is probably the lowest high tide I've seen. Okay, we've actually put the slippery dog on now, and this choppy water is actually really good. Darts around really nicely on this choppy water, so that should entice some action hopefully. And turns out there are a few fish here, even though it's a really tiny window. I can barely even see the lure. It's that choppy. It's got a dart wing on at the moment. We'll give that a spin. See if they're on that today. I've had one follow so far on it. Chasing this flat. Yeah, right there. Yep, missed it. Right, let's try that again. They were on it that time. So they're taking a like to the MMD prawn. That's 2 hookups I've had on that so far. Tried the sugar pen and tried the slippery dog. Had follows and swipes, but no hookups on it. So this one's going to be one that I'll stick with and persevere and have some confidence in. That's all we're doing. Small little bloops. Luckily the wind's behind me, so oh, there's fish on that. Okay, they're pretty close now. I'm going to have to keep walking backwards until one takes it. Yep, there we go. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, they're sharp. Might whack the hook a bit more next time. Okay, had to follow then. Didn't quite hit it though. Try a different retrieve. Faster, skiddier retrieve. Sometimes it pays to change up the retrieve. If they've already seen one retrieve, they'll try the same lure again. But just try a different retrieve. I'm just doing a faster one now. Lots of little shakes and pops. Last one was just a rhythmic bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, we finally got a solid hookup. He's a good fish too. Guess he didn't bring a net. Not the biggest whiting ever, but it'd go, I don't know, mid-30s maybe. How bloody good. Now that fish actually committed. So there was no, I didn't see any chase, I didn't see any follows, it was just came up solid. I prefer hits like that, but when there's a big group of them, sometimes they just push each other out of the way, and you know, you end up with 6 or 7 fish following you for ages. I had quite a bit of chop on the water, so I decided rather than going for the more stick bait approach, I'd switch over to the MMD prawn just to create a bit more pop on the surface, and it also helped me to know exactly where my lure was, because with the chop on the surface I had no idea where my lure was, and as you know with whiting, when they're following it, you sort of gotta read them and watch them to see what they're doing. Fish on it, we're on. Yeah boy, how good. Nope, came off. Still on it. Oof, still on it. Oh, that was so cool. Up and close and personal. How many hits? Yes. No, off. Yes, off. What the hell? Wow, that was 3 or 4 hookups then. Drag's tight. Hooks are all good. No, don't know. Let's try that again. There's a few hanging around here, but that slower pop seems to be giving them more opportunity to hit it. And even once it came out of a fish's mouth and skipped, you know, 2 or 3 meters just on a tight line, the rest of the fish came straight over after it, so they can cover some water quickly. Oh yeah, fish are on it. Yep. On. Long range. Bait shower. You see that? How cool. Oh, they're lively tonight. So in the last half an hour I've probably got 7 fish and lost a couple as well. Oh, pulled the hooks. His mate's on it. Oh, I missed that hook up. So I just did a little fast burn with the lure after doing the slow, and there must have been a fish sitting behind it who hadn't committed yet. And the second I sped it up and just did a little burn, he smashed it. It's always good to mix it up a little bit, because you never know what sort of mood they're in, how much fish are there, how many fish are there, what sort of competition there is. No, he seems about the same sort of size. They're beautiful. Now, a few things that I figured out on this trip. Firstly, I was getting a lot of hits and a lot of hookups, but I was dropping a lot of fish. Now, a couple of things I did to remedy this is I put an extra split ring on the tail of the lure and then put the assist hooks on. That just gave it a little bit more length, and I found having that extra little bit of length on the back definitely helped convert a lot more fish. Another thing I did as well is I went for a lighter gauge hook. In this particular case, they were just dropping a lot of fish and just not getting the penetration. Could have been slack line, could have been a chop on the water, could have been a lot of things, but I just wasn't getting the penetration. So I went to a lighter gauge hook, and that definitely helped pin a lot more fish and keep them on the hook. Yep, here we go. On. You can see I'm just backing the drag off. The reason for that, because these guys do have really soft mouths, so you back the drag off, have it tight to start. Oh shit, it's probably not enough. They get really scrappy once they come in close, and with all the lunges you don't want them pulling the hooks, so back it off and you'll lose less fish. Okay, first one in the mouth. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. The MMD prawn's working really well today. Here's another, I don't know, say 35 centimetre yellowfin whiting. Now it really is quite a choppy, windy day. It's probably blowing about 15-20 knots, right? But it's over my shoulder, so it gives me lots of range in that direction. Now what's been working really well is this little one from MMD. I've changed the hooks over. Don't ask me what size they are. They're probably one of the smallest ones you can get, but they're really sticky. The ones I had on before were a slightly larger gauge. Since I've changed over to the smaller hooks, lighter gauge, the hooks have been sticking a lot more. So yeah, if you're finding you're getting a lot of bumps and the fish aren't hooking up, try going smaller hooks, lighter gauge, and they might hold a little bit better. Oh, here's a bit of fish. That was literally just pausing it like it was brim fishing, just at my feet. And a light drag. This Emeraldus does really well for that. Any of the lighter drag models are generally the ones you want. Alright. Look how those hooks pinned him. 2 in the back. Unreal. Another nice whiting. Alright, get him in the bag, get some more. The majority of the time that I was working the MMD prawn, I was just blooping it, your typical bloop, 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 you know, rhythmic, and getting fish's attention. Once I started swiping at it or sitting behind it and not overly committing or not getting hooked up, once it got sort of halfway back to me and I could see the fish, there's a few things I tried to do to try and work out how to convert that bite. And one of them, because the wind was behind me, if I lifted my rod tip, it would create a nice little belly in the water, lift the head of the lure out, and then I could actually wind it and skip it across the top of the water, looking very much like a fast fleeing prawn. And the amount of fish that this converted was unreal. So fish that were just following it, doing half swipes at it, you know, not overly committing to it, the second I'd do that, bang, you get a hook up. It was unreal. Okay, what I've been trying on the last couple of fish is I'm doing just a normal bloop, like I am now. I think there's fish on that now, and then just speeding it up a little bit, and then blooping it again, and then going slow and speed it up. And I found when I speed it up, you get a real hard smack if there's a fish on it. If you're blooping it, they kind of swirl around, swipe at it, but if you make it go fast, then they come and chase it, and you get a real good smack. Yep, that's it, that's it. Oh, no, he came off. But that was it, that was that little burn. Go slow, bloop, 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 getting them interested, and then do a little burn. And that made him commit. Okay, we're on this time. Made sure I gave him an extra smack, so we might be right. Back the drag off. We should be right to fight him now. Whoa. Oh, he looks a bit better. Looks like a bigger fish. So far they've all been around that 35 centimetre sort of size. I'll confirm later on once I get back to the car. But I used to get some really good ones here, sort of in the 40s. And this looks like a better fish. I'm really wishing I brought my net. Yeah, he might go 40. He might go 40, we'll see. I could be talking shit, but you know. He is definitely a better fish. Yes. Now that is a whiting. Bro, chill. Bro, chill. But yeah, always a little bit easier when you got a mate with you, but he is a stomping fish. Whew. Look at that. Now that's a yellowfin whiting. And even a few times I got the fish right into my feet and I could see them there, and I was on the rod tip just walking backwards and blooping it, and then just did a big lift across the top of the water. Bang, they smashed it. So sometimes varying your retrieve, you've got their attention, you've got them following. If they haven't taken before it gets to your feet, try something else. I even caught a few just on a dead stop and just a bloop, and then a stop and then a bloop, like you would if you were going for brim. And even that turned on a few fish. So changing it up definitely helps. Now, just for interest's sake, I haven't actually moved in the last half an hour. My feet have made like a nice little dent in the ground. I'm literally just fishing the same spot. I reckon there might be a drain coming out here. And I think the fish are sort of funneling through this area. But literally, I haven't moved. I've just been working a very small arc just here, and every second or third cast I get a hook up. I literally hit the water. Legitimately hit the water. The second it landed, bang, I got a hit. And I wonder if it's a whiting, because I'd expect that of a salmon. If it's a whiting, I'll be surprised. I reckon it is a whiting. Yeah, it's a whiting. Scrappy one. He's only a little one, but he smacked it well. Definitely wasn't a foul hook. That was a good hit. I'm never going to make it back to the car at this rate. I've just started sidestepping every cast. And every couple of steps I'm getting a hook up. Ah, he came off. We've still got a mate there though. Yeah, every couple of steps I get onto another fish. That wind's dropped off too, which is bloody amazing. It's actually a little bit easier to fish now. I can see my lure a lot better. Yep, we're on. On. Whoa, pull and drag. Another nice fish. Not huge though. Uh-oh. Here we go, not a bad little catch. So the MMD prawn was working fantastic today. I kept 7, I think. Yep, 7, including this much larger model, which I haven't measured yet. How good. If you work out how the fish are reacting on the day and hone into that, keep adjusting and you'll catch more fish.